What's up? We're back finally for the last game of the day. Nexus, the Romanian powerhouse versus Trix, the dynamic Danes. Starting on the T side of their map pick, Trix going to be popping out of the A bomb side. Smek's going to be the first contact alongside Raga, and my god! The CTs have held strong. Adam S, oh baby, that's a clean 4K that starts off.
And on 1 HP as well, makes it just that little bit more clean. Perfectly managed. And imagine if you're Trick, you've been waiting 20 minutes for this moment to finally get going, and you just get clobbered about. You get slapped back into your place. And Nexus, a brilliant start to this map, but it's only the pistol, right? And Nexus have actually bought up pretty heavily. No MP9 into this is pretty surprising, considering Trick have not gotten a bomb plant, so you don't really fully expect a force buy to be happening. And this buy more feels like they want to fend off a force.
Ooh, Adam S is confident. Tech pause for him doesn't mean anything. He's getting right in their face. I've seen these rounds get dangerous when a player is literally in BTN's position and is like dancing around when the Glocks have a headshot angle and like you can't hit them, but they can hit you in the body and you just get peppered down. But flawless round for Nexus. They keep all their rifles alive, and now they don't have any of those SMGs to deal with. Well, they don't have any SMGs that they're going to have to worry about up against the rifles now.
Yeah, at least this is not necessarily considered a bonus round. Nexus have made those early investments already, so they can at least go off of that. Certainly not a dreadful issue on their side. But 0 frags thus far for Trix, and really hope that they're going to change that one around. Otherwise, it's really that hit to the confidence, and for a team like Trick, that's so pivotal to get that going from the very start. Moto has been spraying through the smoke, and is going to continue doing exactly that. But Iceberg has already made it through. Smek will have a spot on him, and he starts running back through the door.
Ooh, good first pick. Quez onto BTN. The IGL falls over on the A bomb site. High impact already from that lurk. With the rest of the team coming down towards the B bomb site, it's already yet another one to the tally of Adam S. He is unstoppable. The Spanish-Romanian youngster has completely shifted the momentum of Tricked in this round and is forcing them to just try check elsewhere. Ooh, needs to be careful. Getting around the corner just about. Iceberg really is hungry for his kill.
Adam just expecting the player to peek in front of the flash. Raga, he's still on the A site. Quez has got perfect pulsar placement there. Raga's head torn apart, and Moda can't really do anything on the site, but he does a dispatch of Iceberg, and they actually need to go and retrieve the bomb. Iceberg had it, and now Scott is also getting heavily tagged up. Modo, if he can win this duel, the nade, oh, it lands too far in the backyard of Scott, just getting grass pulled. Scott barely getting away. Now Quez is coming out to help and make it a safe passage, but in the meanwhile, Smek has gone onto the site, and as soon as Scott wants to dive down the vent, he'll enter the claws of Adam.
Such a messy round, especially considering the fact that you had Quez getting 2 kills on the upper bomb site, and they don't really get anything else after that. So, yeah, Nexus a pretty easy third for them, all things considered. Tricked, they're going to be buying back into on a Tech 9s on their map pick. We're going to be expecting a little bit more soon.
Tough start for Tricked. Perhaps the Tech 9s can elevate their play, but thus far, it's been rocky. Against a team like Nexus, if they're starting to feel confident, that really is going to be an issue. But Nexus, I'm sure that they also want to finish this off quickly, because it is an hour later in Romania, so they're already playing at 12. If this goes the entire stretch, they're basically playing at 3 a.m.
Yeah, this could be you're actually very correct. Yeah, this could be a really long day for everyone. Bomb going down there for Trick, though, is superb. It means they're going to have a full buy next round. And they might actually even win. but there is a world they win this. With Raggett only coming through Secret now, the time is ticking down quite a bit. Lucky's picked himself up an M4. He's in towards Vent. It's a really difficult position to deal with. Bomb's really ticked down now. There's actually only 2 kits. Raggett doesn't have a kit, so he can't get on the bomb just yet. BTN gets the first. Adam S gets the second. Oh my god, the one player's got a kit on the bomb. There's no time. Adam S is trying. Is there enough time? I'm actually not too sure. Lucky wins out the duel. Lucky gets a spray. Lucky runs out of bullets. Oh no! Nexus now, that is too close, but Adam S, the savior once again for this squad. Newest addition to the roster, 10-0. My god, they can't be getting that close every single time.
It's certainly costly, but as long as the only problem is that it's costly, you're still winning the rounds. The only issue will start arising in the future, but they still have a full buy going. Tricked. They can still be happy. Of course, they're going to be a bit upset with how that round fully ran out at the end. But now they've got 5 AKs. Some money in the reserves as well. And Lucky. Oh my god. That kill. Just pre-firing Moto. Double dinking him. Ridiculous entry by Lucky and Tricked. Playing with 5 against 4.
Okay, it's an advantage Trick need. Modo, you've hyped him up and he has not had too much to say so far in this series. Aggression though, Smek running through. Hut, Quez is holding for him. The king of lobby right now. They're going to have to deal with Adam S. Oh, he doesn't land the instant shot onto Scott, and as he goes a little bit out of his crosshair, he can't adjust correctly, and Quez ends off the round where he started. Tricked finally find their first.
Much needed. And with the opening like that from Lucky, they actually didn't save over the ult, so Lucky, it could still go for one. Not anymore, unless somebody drops him. Yeah, it seems... No, I know. I thought with Quez dropping him the AK that it was going to get out that ult, but a brilliant entry. And Trick, they've absolutely still got it. Moto being made to sat down. That's a tough start for Nexus. Just continuously dropping a lot of players when you don't really need to is going to be costly and lead to a round where you don't really have anything in. But a scout on Adam, so perhaps you're able to squeeze an advantage from that. 11-1, that dude right now.
Yeah, he's just having a bit too good of a game, right? Like, he's actually looking so crisp, and he's going for more. Okie dokie. Stop it. Like, that's illegal. That's uncalled for. And BTN's gonna be taking space towards outside, so it means they can gamble with these pistols over towards the A bomb side. Is it enough? Because they are still only on USBs, but Adam S rotating up towards Heaven, going towards ramp first. As soon as he clears us out, if he goes towards A, they might have the read, and Tricked might actually just lose against this.
That would be a huge L for them to take right now. Not something you can... What the hell is BTN doing here?
What?
Oh, he's gone for the knife, and he's got the AK out, gets the kill on Iceberg as well. Oh my god, it's just Lucky left alive now. And one man against the pistols. Moto's picked up an AK. Lucky swings as Moto's just looking into a wall. Lucky's actually making this one viable. But for Smek, he's going to be trying to retrieve that AK. But oh, as soon as he peeks, this is so dangerous. Why would you, Nexus? You could just sit in the site, but they are getting too greedy. Now it's just Adam, and he gets the scout shot. A ridiculous round.
Oh my god, BTN, he went on that extended flank. He sees he sees everyone in lobby. He's behind all of them. Gets his knife out. Backstab Quez, picks up the AK, dispatches with Iceberg. Oh my god. Maybe that did become a little bit closer than necessary, but it all starts off with Adam S on that scout, and he's still yet to really die, man. 1 kill, 2 more in that last round. He wins it out for them. Moto's on the orb. Tricked her in the bin. Romanian CS, my god, take a bow, everyone.
That is brilliant. BTN, first to die in this round, Iceberg. He's got an issue with them now. Rightly so, that's just a ridiculous play. Smart to go for the knife as well. apart from just a monetary play, but the smoke runs out, and Smek again looking the entire opposite way. And thus far, Nexus, they haven't really been too convincing, barring Adam, and he's actually managed to sneak in. No, Prime has got his sights on him. And Modo, he's just going to try and save the orb, needs to run away quickly. Iceberg goes in hot pursuit, but with that, also gets burned.
Okay, that was a really weird round from Nexus. It felt quite messy. And Modo, I mean, wait, he could win this. Yeah. Oh, no. I was going to say, if he kills Scott there, he actually wins the round, potentially. But no, sadly, that's not going to be the case. Trick do give back a second. But yeah, no, that was a really scrappy round on the A-bomb site. Nexus, they definitely need to patch that up if they want to find further success. But on the double eco now, we're going to see another force buy from the Romanian team.
They've got a bit more into this than having to knife somebody from behind and utilize that AK for a round win. Adam, surely you give him a weapon here, right? He's been on an absolute tear round after round after round. But he could also do that with a 5-7. And perhaps he doesn't need the help, and BTN already crept up close. Trick looks like they're going to work around this. You've got two rifles outside, and none of them are looking for the push through the smoke. Now Modo is dead in the water if they start peeking him. But they actually respect his position right now. Raga with a tiny gap in the smoke. And Quez, he's made it down, but he's spotted Raga. Oh, he can't find the axes. Oh, no.
I don't know if he meant to go down or not. Oh, Raga. Oh, bless. That really couldn't have gone any worse. I think that's the round over. If he'd pushed in lobby and maybe on a fast flank towards ramp, we could have seen something. Adam S is behind the red box and he gets wall banged. Oh, I didn't even know that was possible. I thought that was an unwall bangable position, but apparently Lucky shows me it can be. There's a third on the T round. Adam S still gets he still gets one more kill. Like he can't be stopped. He's literally on a 2k kill per round right now. Give or take. I think we're like 1.8 now. Next round, but yeah, these two saved weapons, they're not gonna have a buy next round, but they're still gonna have some sort of force behind it, and I'm pretty sure there should be a pistol on both these players as well, or at least on one of them.
Thus far, it's actually in this particular map, Tricked, who's the more consistent side, and Nexus, they've got flares that exceed the limit that Tricked can actually hold off, but they also are lackluster in certain areas where you expect them to do better, where they don't pay full attention, where they've gotten the wrong read, and Tricks are able to squeeze their advantage. And they should be able to do that here as well, because Nexus, they've just got two rifles. It could make it work, but Nexus, a tad lackadaisical, also on the outside play. Trick just being allowed to maneuver through, nobody yet paying attention to it, doing a whole lot of damage. When you've bought two rifles in the round, they need to do more than just be back creep.
Let's see what the players. Where's there's another small gap in that vent drop smoke. Holding that is always, it gives you so much information, but Quez has been a demon towards, yeah, he's got down the vent again. Quez has been such a demon towards lobby. BTN dying there does bait in the rifle a little bit. Lucky, unfortunate there for Smek, because Lucky almost gave him the kill, but not to be. And yeah, Quez, yet again in that vent, he's been so brutal, so dominant. Every round has been getting impact in some ways through his positioning, or not even getting a kill, but just being a nuisance towards that area of the map. And Modo, he is playing with fire right now, jumping around, but it should be just a very easy 4 for Tricked, and doing it flawlessly right now.
He's playing with fire, but Adam has only got a USP, so that shouldn't really result in too much. Unless Quez gets distracted by Modo jiggle peeking. And yeah, this is exactly what I mean. It felt like Modo was supposed to jiggle peek Quez there, but he just simply wasn't. Modo was heard on the retreat. And the best thing you can do is save your A1S right now, but there's a flurry of T's coming towards you, and it's the very first one that gets you killed.
A 5-4. The scoreline has actually been slightly evened up in some fashion. And Trick, they are going to be up against the rifles now, though. It's going to be a proper full-fledged buy. Last time we saw a buy round from Nexus, it was really scrappy on the A-bomb site. So if the execute does come in towards that area, I would want to see a little bit more stability from the Romanian team. Modo as well has been struggling. I think he was the first player to die twice in a row with the AWP. So I want to see him having a little bit more impact on the CT side, because Lucky has been getting the most impact for Tricked on the T side, and right there, exactly not what's going to happen. Iceberg with a terrific double entry outside. The flashbangs are used magnificently, and Nexus now are going to really have to rely on the likes of Adam S to pick them out of another uncomfortable position, which it shouldn't be him the only one doing it, and he almost actually does. Prime's going to get away with 3 HP, just about. Oof, that was a close one. And in the meantime, because they see that player coming outside, they know it's not necessarily Adam S, but they know it's the ramp player, so they're going to put a lot more pressure there. Good reaction, though, from Raga to go through lobby. Smek clearing out outside, but I think I don't see Tricked giving this one up, and just it all started off so well with Iceberg outside.
And on face value, you see Prime low, think, oh, they can squeeze it back there. Yeah, but Prime is just holding a massive flank. And might even get a freebie on Smek. Indeed, he does. That's a crucial weapon out of the hands for Nexus. One that they absolutely need. And a flaming start, but as we already mentioned at the start, it can't just be one player popping up. They've all got that potential. But if it's just one, that's not going to be enough to take on a team like Trix, who, sure, they've been struggling, but it's not like they don't have the skill at all. No, they absolutely do. And Lucky is showing that right now. He's trying to match Adam in the performance in the previous few rounds. He absolutely has been. Prime dies to the bomb, and that's a little bit silly.
Yeah, a little bit silly indeed. But Tricked, they even up 5-5. Really good from them so far. It all just comes down to Iceberg. That was an unreal entry outside. I don't know how he gets... He turns on a 6-foot so nicely. And Modo, I was calling upon him to do well, and he yet again is the first to die. That needs to change. So it can't just be the Adam S show.
Somehow Modo still does have 7 frags, though, even though it feels like he hasn't played a huge part. He's been fragging out more than the likes of Smek, who we also very much expected. BTN being behind, yeah, that makes sense, and that's something that we were expecting already. But Modo, this could be a great spot to get activated in Prime. He's not peeking at all, though. Meanwhile, Smek, and both players that we just talked about getting a kill and opening it up for Nexus, gathering themselves a 5v3.
Okay, that's a pretty good start. Nexus seems to be doing better in some instances on these low weapons and the full weapons. Don't want to count, though, Lucky and Iceberg. They are joined by Scott. I saw Lucky get Iceberg get an unreal entry last round, so it could still happen again. Scott baiting out Adam S. They know his position now, but the flashbangs do not land. And the ramp player is only able to get one this time. Motor's there in quick succession to trade him out. Bomb is being dropped. Iceberg, the IGL, gonna be it's a tall order for them, this one. He spots out Raga and does just about get the kill, but the IGL and IGL conflict does favor Nexus.
It was very awkward all around. But for Iceberg to get an exit frag there, sure. Not really looking for a whole lot more. It would have been real tough. But Nexus, they finally managed to get around back. And let's see how Trick respond to it. They have been able to build up a decent economy behind it, though. And that's really not a bigger issue than actually losing the rounds, of course. But the next biggest issue is that they didn't really manage to do a whole lot of fragging in that and allowed Trick to start building that economy. And that's going to allow them to continuously put up some pressure.
Yeah, completely. And it's going to be an A-pop now, a full AXQ smack in the Molotov. It's going to be forced down to the open. BTN, though, and Raga, they seem to stabilize fine. The bomb redirecting towards the B bomb site now. Because of their immediate failure, they turn, and they do find success down towards B. No one there to stop them. And Scott on the lurk is doing perfectly. Oh, okay. Now that's a double you want. I was talking about how he's been having a pretty bad performance recently, but by God, was that 2 crispy kills. And he wins Trick the round single-handedly. Unless it is a 2v2 still, and Scott is very low. But no, they have only 1 kill, and they're not going to go for it, I think.
No, they're trying to get some exits here. But the first one, clean crosshair placement. 2, the second kill there for Scott was absolutely immaculate. And Nexus forced to relent another round where they did have the numbers advantage in, but they just don't get the correct read on Tricked. And it is Tricked's pick. They're showing exactly that. Innovative on the T side and continuously catching out Nexus with an outside player, deep push somewhere. The quick decision-making process as well to dive down the fence and realize A is not for them right now. That's way too sturdy of a hold. There's still 2 players there. Let's piece this together real quick. And B seems to be the calculation made for Tricked. Nexus, they've also saved up enough money to get another buyout and Moda with an AWP this time. It is not uncontested, though.
Ooh, the Molotov that they threw down to extinguish the smoke, it's kind of like almost a counter. The Molotov has actually left a gap, and it means that Iceberg is going to get spammed a little bit, but it's not actually going to do too much damage, and they're going to get down. There's no one here to really stop them apart from BTN in the vent. That's a lovely first kill. He did a really nice hold on the bomb site last round. The A rotate is only going to get 1 there, though, and Raga, the other A bomb site player, is equally going to fall. Nexus, yet again, crack showing in their armor. And Tricked, still not quite picking a direction. The bomb is down towards B, but they always can come back up vent. However, because of their indecisiveness, it's now mean they've been isolated 1 by 1, and Smek has just got his first kill, putting it back to a 3 versus 3.
Adam, it's a risky position if they peek from radio, but anywhere else, and he's got a massive drop. And that seems to be the case, that he's going to get an easy drop on Scott and Lucky. Last man left alive. Nowhere near the bomb. Nowhere near the play. You could save the AWP. You've got plenty of money, but that's not really the issue. If you lose the remainder of the rounds, all of a sudden you're not going to have that money. So he does go back into the T-spawn to try and carry this up over. And he's going to certainly manage, since nobody of Nexus is starting to inch closer and try to hunt this one down, because they themselves do not live lavishly right now.
No, it's a pretty poor funds across the board. Around that Tricked, I feel like they could have won that, and they just paused in the mid round a little bit too much. They get picked off 1 by 1, and that's pretty poor mid round decision coming out overall by the Danes. Could be the kind of where you're seeing like the issue of a stand-in coming in and not having your full team. However, Nexus, they will take that in their stride, and they won't be they will not be disappointed with the outcome of that round. 7-6. I feel like for them, they have to get the last 2 rounds this half to give them a chance on Nuke. Tricked have been playing a good T side so far. She needs to continue in that manner.
Early damage all against Tricked. Oh, a massive tag up. Raga doesn't really localize that smoke where that came from. Perhaps the bullets, then he does start spraying, and he catches Quez on the opposite end, brings him down to 9 HP. That's a tough start for Tricked. They're gonna have to get a different point man through, try to make it work in different way. But Trick, they have already shown that they can come up with a new idea. Another IGL battle, and Iceberg will massively win that one. Adam tries to re-divert and get back onto the ramp, but it's just the one for him, and Iceberg has meanwhile capitalized upon the site, but the bomb is down. Smek, he's gonna throw a flash and go to a different spot. He's just the bait this time, but Quez, he's so incredibly low.
Yeah, the HP is not going to favor him. The one issue for the city side right now is that Iceberg is just going to get Smeg in the side of the head because they don't have the two players in conjunction. Modo is going to get mollied out. He's going to make he's going to make noise, but I don't think they would have heard that, to be honest. Either way, they are still going to go towards the B bomb site. The Orpa needs to make a move soon. He's right now very pinned towards Squeak, anticipating someone to come through lobby, but as the bomb goes down towards the B bomb site, he will as well. No kits. That's one big thing to offer. Quez on low HP doesn't matter because Modo won't be able to capitalize upon that the same way like a rifle. He's just trying to find an opening somewhere. Right now, it's not being given up to him, Hypheria.
I think if there's no opening given up, yep, you don't try this one anymore. You don't try and force the issue. You just run back. But you do have to wonder why Modo wasn't anywhere close to the bomb, because it has been down for a decent amount of time and he just was in a different area, and also his teammate getting caught off guard by somebody pushing through the door. Feels like another mistake out of Nexus where they're not fully awake just yet, even though I mean, they could also be falling asleep a little bit, but you can see the tiny cracks in their play that's allowing Trick to capitalize upon it. Adam's certainly not on that tangent though, as he's on 17 frags.
Okay, he's having such a good game, man. He's just plodding along every single round, finding impact, but the rest of his team aren't able to do the same, which is just really unfortunate, to be honest. And lucky, he's been besting Modo every single round in the AWP duel. Maybe not directly, but just more impact being had. Last round of the half right now. And where did that spray come from? Lucky it's tagged for 7, but it's not going to be too much of an issue. Trick is playing it slow right now. They've got smokes if they want to still go outside. And they're just taking control towards lobby. Quez in his prime position, keeping so much contact there. And yeah, outside smoke's going to be placed. The diagonal smokes are going to be put down. And it's going to put pressure on Nexus once again.
And even a molly down secret to disallow BTN get the drop on them as they're making their way towards A. That's a great kill by Scott Pivotal as well. Otherwise, that would have meant bomb down, but still, Raga puts 2 in the grave. Modo tries to get through, but Adam caught off guard by Lucky, still waiting behind. Patience pays off. Tricks still with 3 on 3, so it's not an easy round just yet. They're going to be able to get that bomb down, but Nexus are going to throw everything at it right now, and they have been able to get the bomb down, but Scott does get killed by Raga, who's on a 3k in this round. Oh, that's a beautiful shot by Prime. And now it's just BTN. The IGL needs to do it, and Prime decapitates immediately. And the Trick, they win out the half.
Well, let's see if they can continue the success on their map pick after the break. Well, Trick D Sports 8-7 up. The odds dead even. This could be a 3-mapper, to be honest, especially considering the fact that both these teams are much better on their map pick than the other team. This game is so even. Nexus, they do not win out the half on their CT side, so it seems like Trick are in a great position right now. Nexus faking some contact towards the A bomb site. They are going to send Raga down the vent, and in the meantime, the rest of the forces are going to go over towards the B bomb site. Sorry, towards ramp, where the ramp play has actually been forced off because we've seen Quez having to deal with Raga, but all that is going to be is his downfall, and it's going to be Nexus holding the bomb site in a great position for a post plant.
Oh my god, if you're Prime, you just feel smacked about. And the pistol is heavily dominant by Nexus. Beautiful shot by Aragon, a 4k out of him. That's Nexus twice now with a player getting a 4k in the pistol round. Perhaps that could be enough elevation, because right now Nexus can show their aggression. They really like to take those aim duels. And on the T side, You get to decide when you actually want to peek into the well-known angles. There's certainly CTs that are going to be pushing through, but of course a whole lot less than the Ts are. Tricks, they're forced on the back foot with just the USPs.
Okay, so maybe maybe they do have a little bit of bite left into them. As we are getting into the early hours of the morning, Nexus have evened up the scoreline 8-8, and while I have an eco, I want to go back to something that we were talking about in the break, Hypheria. White broccoli.
Yeah.
Do you mean Do you mean cauliflower?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cauliflower. Well, white broccoli. I'm gonna call it now forever.
You got what I meant.
I instantly knew what you meant, but it was still funny. It was still funny. White broccoli.
Yeah. I mean, I've decided that if I don't know a word in English anymore, that I'm just gonna
describe it.
Yeah, exactly. In the most silly way, but accurate.
Do you guys put cheese on it as well, or is that just like a British Irish thing?
Cheese.
Like cauliflower cheese.
Nah, mate. Nah, we absolutely don't.
Cauliflower cheese is like a fairly like normal like side dish.
We put it on like oh, this is another vegetable that I don't know the name.
Oh my god, okay, sorry, that was an A-pop. I thought that was gonna be a default, but no. Yeah, it's a very quick A-pop. However, Tricked have dealt with it equally as quickly. Iceberg and Scott both pick up a frag for themselves, and you've just got Raga, BTN, and Modo forced to try and redirect themselves somewhere on the map. They've lost all their momentum in this round, and like they're gonna have to have a miracle to win this one. They got given a miracle. Lucky handed them a kill on a platter, and they still didn't take it.
Yeah. So that's a tough one for Nexus. And especially with the Raga who got a 4K in the pistol round. You're going to be feeling good at that point, but now you're feeling dreadful as it's such a clean round out of Trick, completely destroying Nexus, who really don't look like they've got anything to say about this right now. Nexus are struggling in every department. And mainly the aim is just not on point, where at Nexus, that's usually one of their strongest points. They've got good tactics, sure, but it's just that all of their players seemingly can just run about on the map and kill whoever they want. And right now, if you're not able to do that, your entire strategy also falls into the water.
Okay, still on the rifles though. Weirdly enough, like actually a better buy, and this time they've slowed it down quite a bit. They've learned from their mistakes. That's why they're going to go straight towards ramp, to be honest. Yeah, they're just going to force the issue right now. Quez is instantly backing off. He does not want to deal with that right now, as he has got Prime very close in rotation. Prime was already in the vent, so they've now come together in a really nice crossfire, and the B bomb site is going to be locked down if Nexus choose to go there, but no, they don't. They're going to go back towards lobby, and they're going to go into the jaws of Iceberg and Scott, I think that is. But you know he's walked away, so just Iceberg.
Iceberg. He's tucked into the corner, though, but he's not really aware. Oh my god, this is awkward, and there could have been a whole lot more. But at least he trades himself out. Meanwhile, Quez is going to go scouring. He could get punished for it. Spot smack, and he runs away again. Scared little chicken, but probably the best idea right now. They're on the CT side, of course, so they can just sit back and wait for Nexus to push through, especially with that 1-2 punch setup that Tricks have on the B site. You can just play off of your teammate. No need to put the cape on, but Smecky's about to suffer fate. And BTN at least managed to get one back. Scott losing BTN, and a whole lot of trades happening, but it is Nexus who take the lead now, and they're in pole position.
Not quite sure how Nexus are the ones coming on top in this round, to be honest. Like, it just felt like Trick actually had the read, and then just one bad blunder after another. Quez in a 1 versus 2. He does have a kit. He does actually have time, and he might be offered up a frag here onto Modo, which he is. Okay, so now it's winnable. 1 versus 1. Raga has full information. Raga has the advantage and is going to play around Tetris. He's playing the time, and that Molotov seals the deal. Really unfortunate for Quez. The flash as well. It's just putting insult to injury. Really nice from Raga. He even gets the kill at the end, and Nexus are doing better on their T side than the CT side somehow.
Sure. Sometimes I guess that just happens, but there is still a whole lot to be played, and Tricked as soon as they start figuring out the tendencies of Nexus. And that was another round where they were absolutely positionally the favorites, and Iceberg just struggled a whole lot. And he probably panicked when he saw the back, and he was like, okay, so I could go for trigger discipline right now, but that also could make me look like a fool if it doesn't actually work out. So I'm just gonna go and convert the frag right now. But realistically, what you want to do there is get an instant one tap and then swing wide so you catch the rest of those guards well. They're not able to react appropriately, but Iceberg, he's made up for it this round. 2 entries, 4 in BTN. However, the IGLs, they're just going toe-to-toe right now, and BTN does one better as he gets 3, but Moto caught off guard again. Oh, Quez, he's dropped the bomb, and now he's able to defend it as well.
I don't know how Mo's been caught with a grenade out there, but BTN is on for the ace. 3 kills already, and he's got the high ground. I think he should be able to get the kill on Quez, but it's all going to come down to Shadows, and no, the IGL wins it out. Prime, outside currently. I've seen him pull off some really impactful clutches before, but right now, this could be a little bit too little, too much to ask for. He's got 23 HP, and he's been smoked out.
I don't think he'd go for this. He knows that as well. Forced to give up another round, and that will be the economy running dry for Tricked. Really struggling right now to get themselves in a contendable position. It looks so strong, but BTN with a 4K. He's not a fragger usually, but I guess when he needs to be. But Nexus, they also use BTN as the head of the spear. They just throw him in first and see what ends up happening, and the rest utilize him basically as that bait. If the bait gets all the frags, and that's gonna work out lovely. Prime able to get away. BTN.
That was a close one. My God.
He's gonna be clenching it.
You know, that's kind of the X factor, right, for Nexus. You have someone who's not normally your fragger pops off, and that's a really impressive round from BTM. Ragger, Adam S still leading the charge. Adam S is definitely slowed down. He was 10-0 at one stage, so I know he's got to put a pinch of salt that it's quite hard to continue that success, but he's still maybe not plodding along the same way. He'd definitely be the rounds to pick it up for. They are up against a low buy. Prime's the only one who's invested in. Well, sorry, not invested. He's the only one who has anything because he saved that A1S. He's actually already died. So Lucky has, yes, retrieved that A1S, but he has no armor. So, you know, he's just been hit twice there and he's on 23 HP. That A1S being passed around left, right, and center. But in the meantime, it's Adam S just using Ragger, who's taken all the control outside just to go by himself with the rest of the team towards ramp, and it's just such an easy round for them.
And the main difference right now for Nexus is that everybody's actually starting to frag out. It's not just Adam having to carry the team on his back on the CT side, which is already really tough because obviously Adam can only be on one spot at the same time, so he can hold off that push, but if the Trick then decides to go elsewhere, that really brought a whole space of issues. But right now, Nexus, they're all stepping it up, and Adam is not even the top fragger anymore. Ragger's actually overtaken him, and that brings a whole lot of prosperity to the end of Nexus. But Tricks, they're going to have to buy back up again. And Lucky with that orb looks to get activated to the same extent that he was in the first half. But Prime quickly needs to duck and back into A. And Moto is going to be making his way down, but there's a smoke in the way.
That's good, though. He's just making noise, and he's actually leading the charge, so he's waiting for the rest of the pack to get there. The rest of the pack is going to get there, and right now, Trick definitely are probably under the impression that it's maybe just one player there. So as that smoke is going to start fading, Prime's going to be in a sticky situation with the rest of the team putting instantaneous pressure on him. Ragger boosted up, it's going to do damage, and it just scares Prime away there. A kill would have been nice, but they still will take that damage. Smek trying to replicate what Krez was doing on their T side, is lurking right now in towards huts, and his presence is meaning that Nexus can come back up from secret and go in towards outside, and that's exactly what's going to happen because Smek just gets 2 kills. That's round over. Smek has instantly just won the round for them.
That's the X factor of Nexus. Quez, he's just about to fade back into CT, but now they still need to get that offer there. Moto on the lookout. And he's going to be hunting for that one, but they still know that Quez is around the corner, and they actually line up for him. That's not the greatest peak for Nexus. and taking a bit more damage than I probably would have liked. And no warp saved either, because Strict can get their hands on it. And Quez, we can see that he's got a safe passage. That's a beautiful warp, by the way.
Yeah, it is. We've seen a lot of beautiful orbs today, haven't we? Actually, we've seen that one. Obviously, we saw the Blackamov that artist uses, that I love. I adore it. I'm trying to remember, is that the Prince? I think it is the Prince. CS:GO stash. Let's go take a look. I'm pretty sure it is the Prince, and I really hope I'm not wrong, because I feel like I should know these type of things, as I've done interviews for a skins website, so I should know these type of things. The Hydra, yeah, the Prince, yeah, and it's very expensive.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. In general, CS:GO are just NFTs in front of their time.
Oh my god, that's so true, but kind of not at this. Ooh, big brain. Either way, Tricked, they lose another gun round, and it's all kind of down to Smek that time. Leading by 4 rounds. Nexus having an unreal T side all of a sudden. What is this actually about?
I've got no clue, mate. And that's a tough nade for Scott as well, but he's still got the swag 7. Close range. Takes a bit of a back step, and he also hits into the wall. Iceberg almost gets sprayed by Adam. Just locating the scent. Quez, there's no reason to stick around there with a 5-7 and a flurry of T's on the opposite end. For Tricks. They've still got the AWP on Lucky, so yeah, this round is going to be really tough, but Lucky is actually in a position where he at least can contest, but he does need to go quickly. That's a double smoke by Nexus, and Lucky gets 2. Oh, that's huge, but Iceberg now needs to do the rest of the work. Gets just the 1, though. It's still a 2-on-2, but the bomb is already retrieved, and Prime's coming through from behind. If they don't take this into account, this could be a huge issue, and they don't do that at all. But Prime picks up the back 7. Why would you go for that? You can just have a free kill. Quet still gets close. But oh, Trick, that's a dreadful error.
My god, that was close. It was a round they had no chance in winning, and there was a round they had no right in winning from the get-go, but they make it so goddamn close. Lucky with a terrific 2K, Iceberg with 1, and if Prime just hadn't gone for the max 7, if Prime had just stayed with that deagle and had continued looking in front of him, he might have won out the gun battle between him and Modo. Nexus staring down the barrel of victory right now, and Trick's map pick. A T-side masterclass is being put on in front of us. Ooh.
It's always so scary when you dive through the smoke. And into the vent, Raga goes now. This is always a tough spot. One play that I really like here is that you open the door simultaneously. So you give the sound cue, and it goes unnoticed sometimes if it is pulled off properly. But Prime, he's also in the vicinity, and Raga's actually able to just pick out a duel, since Prime is outside of an area that gets destroyed by a sound cue. But Raga, yep, dropped by Prime, is Tricked at the information that somebody could have been down the vent, and Raga's been found out.
Good first pick for Trick, because to be honest, this game isn't done yet for them. Yeah, they trail by 5. That's not that big of a number, especially considering if you win 2 in a row, you're on 11 for Trick. You're up against an eco, you'll be pretty much on 13. Doing this cleanly will mean a lot for them. But this is a very nice round from Nexus. They were going to go up heaven, but now they're going to wrap around ramp, and Lucky's been spotted out. Adam S just can't die there. Adam S just has to hide. Adam S has to play for time and bait in his teammates. Finally, they do strike, but the damage has already been done. The rotation's already here. If Adam S was alive, it would be a completely different story, but now Prime, on the back of the bomb site, hasn't been identified. They don't look for him, and finally, he has impact in this game. It's taken him so long, but that double kill is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Tricked. They managed to get it back, and all of a sudden, as soon as they're on double digits for the mental, it looks a whole lot more doable. But that's a brilliant round out of Tricks, and yet again, one where Nexus let some mistakes slip through, with Adam peeking too early when there was a clear-cut flank, and you could have just had a man up on the push through. But either way, Nexus, they still got enough money to buy back up again and contest this out of Trick. But if they lose this round, that's all of a sudden Tricked onto 12. CT side, it's still not likely that they're going to win it out in regulation, but all of a sudden overtime becomes a viable possibility. But Iceberg overran. Scott does do a one player in, but Adams is immediately going to shut down those shenanigans, and Trick are shut out of the site. There's not a whole lot the Quest can do due to the molly.
Ooh, this is going to be a very difficult retake, but it's definitely one that Trick to maybe vie for. Lucky spamming through the smoke isn't finding success, and Nexus will find match points. This game is the gift that keeps on giving.
But for Tricked, if they don't want to fall a victim to the 2-0, they need to step up massively or get going in that next map. But currently they're still playing this in Prime on the top. There's about to be a whole lot of teams trying to challenge him, but you should be able to make it out alive because you can't really climb up that ladder either.
No.
And Nexus, they just need 1 foot set wrong for Tricks, and that's them winning Tricks map pick.
It's like, you just need to get lucky once. You have 5 times, and you need to get lucky once. Lucky.
Yeah, nice.
But, Trick, like, I don't understand what's happened. Like, they had such a good T side, and then now Nexus have had an even better T side. Like, Trick have won 2 rounds on their CT side. One of them being the pistol round, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, Nexus won the pistol.
Nexus did win the pistol. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say for a second. However, now heading into potentially the last round of our game, rather. Quez, close to ramp, is going to dodge both the flashbangs. Oh, no, Quez. Now that's a blunder and a half. Smek gets away with his life, and Trix might have just lost the game out there.
Wes needed to at least get a kill there at the very minimum, but usually you expect at least a double. But Prime, he's still fighting it back together with Iceberg. It's back into a 3-on-3, but Nexus have been able to get that bomb down. This will send it into a post plant. Another smoke by Raga.
Oh, that's awkward.
That is awkward indeed. The molly is going to allow Raga to now start crawling back into his space if he wants to. But Tricks, this is going to be a tough cookie to crack. They've got 3 flashes to try and get them into the site, so this is certainly possible. But with Modo coming through in a crossfire setup between Modo and BTN Prime, he's actually going to be able to challenge Modo, but that's the end of Lucky, and Prime will fall victim shortly thereafter, and Nexus, they 16-10 on Tricks map pick.
Just thinking there, I was watching, I was like, you know what, they have 3 kits, it's possible, it's winnable. However, the map pick of Nexus, the map pick of Tricked eludes them, and Nexus, the team that I have hyped up going into this one, the team had a pretty bad CT start, and it was only really led by the likes of Adam S, started collectively pushing forward as a team, and now they're going to go on to their map pick, the second map, which is going to be in Mirage. Sorry, for a second I completely forgot. They're going on to their map pick of Mirage with the map advantage, and they'll be looking to take it out in 2. See you guys after the break for if that's going to happen.
A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
What is good, gamers? Nexus versus Tricked. Map number 2. Nexus won their opponent's map pick over on Nuke, and they'll be looking to win theirs on Mirage. Already getting an opening pick onto Lucky. Smek, he's looking for smoke.
That's a tough start for Trick, but Iceberg, he's also propping himself up aggressively, but those blocks can quickly overwhelm, and he doesn't even manage to get a singular frag. Iceberg getting overwhelmed quickly, and Prime, he at least manages to get back on that. But Nexus, they've been so insanely strong on the pistols. Usually one player getting a 4K right now. That's still a possibility. Smek, he's going to go charging through, and he will get another 4K. Thus far, every single pistol round Nexus have played today, they've gotten a 4K on one of their players.
Like, how?
Yeah.
Also, it's the fact that they did win both. So they won both pistol rounds over on Nuke, and they still, like, you know, they did struggle to close it out, to be fair. Like, it wasn't a clean one. Yeah, no, that was a really nice pistol round once again. Nexus, they seem to be pistol gods, and this could be the difference maker, especially if they're quite close games. Trick not winning the pistol round are basically just giving Nexus like 2 rounds straight away for free, and they're giving the momentum away. Especially Nexus right now not buying into an SMG. They've got full rifles. In the next round, they're going to be comfortable. Ragga? Wait. Okay. What? They lose 3 players.
Yeah. And perhaps even more. This is still possible. They're just trying to fight.
Oh,
no,
wait,
why are you
what?
trying to fight?
Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh, that was so close. One bullet can make the difference there.
They
That
could
was
eat an AK.
so expensive for Nexus again, and that keeps on happening, that they make rounds against Glock's pistols or whatever. They make it so expensive for themselves. Just had a look as well, and there's not a singular map where Nexus are in the red on pistol round wins, and it even goes up to like a 70% on certain maps.
That was a dangerous one. We've had some interesting starts this game, and it's only going to get even more interesting because Raga gets his first kill of the game with a Mach 10 on Iceberg, running him down. He's going to be taking that control towards Connector, a trade back and forth out of the A bomb site, and it looks like it will be relinquished as Lucky is smoked out from jungle.
Lucky. Spraying through, and sure, the A1S doesn't have tracers, but they hear those bullets whizzing past there. You know that there's only one angle that they can really shoot it at it from. Tricked. Seems like they're opting in for the retake. 3v4 now. They're opting out now. They're moving away, and that does make more sense. It'd be very ambitious to go up against Nexus in this particular round. But Moto, he's going to be caught off guard big time, and he doesn't even have his rifle out. Prime is going to have a free kill. He's going to try and get that AK and also make it out. There's nobody from Nexus coming. He's still trying to join links with his team.
Oh, good start to Nexus on the T side. They seem to be T side demons, so if they can continue this up, we might be seeing some more success over on Mirage. But because they do save 3 weapons, they could reinvest into this round. That's exactly what they're going to do. Prime drops an A1S to Iceberg. Wes gets one himself from Lucky. It's not the best when it comes to utility. They have 2 kits, so it's just enough. But Nexus, if they win this, they're going to be keeping the pressure even further, pumped towards Tricked.
Palpitating, like very much the same thing, or
It's like I guess so. I think I was watching. Yeah, it's
no,
kinda. I guess.
I mean, the way that I spelt the word in Google already shows that I've got no clue.
No, I don't.
I spelt it as palpitating.
I think it's about atmospheric. It's like atmospheric. Or no, palpitating is a rapid beating rapid, strongly or irregularly of the heart. So Nexus are palpitating down Trick's throat. Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know whether I want you to say that ever again.
No.
Nexus, they've lost the bomb though, and Tricks have even furthered their advantage here. Looking good in this particular gun round. Iceberg shows his hand, and Adam, he's not going to be too keen on shaking it. He wants to clobber the weapon out. Iceberg just peeking and peeking, jiggling, and then he swings wide, gets rid of Adam. A very clean round needed for Tricks.
Okay, so that's exactly what they need. That is exactly the start that Trick need into this game. They force into it. Well, they don't really force into it. They kind of just buy back around the rifles they saved over. And Nexus now, they're on again a very weird buy. That eco, that second round, is going to have a lot of ramifications across the rest of this early start because of how they only kept 1 player alive. The money hasn't really kept going successfully. So you see 2 Deagles, a Mach 10, and 2 AKs on this gun round.
And that's really to a Nexus own doing. They've got an immaculate pistol round, but the rounds they're after are pretty strugglesome. Just puts a hamper on their economy. They've also been great in rounds like this where they don't really have a whole lot going, and they still manage to get tricked in a spot that they're not comfortable in. But lucky. So respect the smoke. Obviously can't really do anything with it. Jumping out of it would just be suicide. Flash coming through into the ramp. But Nexus, they're all going to be coming from it, but they've really got nothing to try and smoke off any angles. They've just got flashes to get them into the angles.
Ooh, that's going to be a nice nade. Oh, not as much as I would have expected, but it's still pretty cool. Quez actually takes more damage throwing it than he does give off. And BTN trying to get something spicy going towards jumping into window. Lucky dispatches with 2 very easily. And Raga does put it back to an even 3 versus 3. The B bomb has actually been relinquished. Adam S, hold on a second. How's he got there? He just walked up sure. The bomb's going to get planted, but Moto has to cross first. This is the dangerous part. Scott there. He's holding the angle, but he has... What's happening? Okay, Scott finally does, but he doesn't see the bomb. Moto's picked up an AK. What's happening in this round? 15 seconds left. He's just going to plant it. Ragga's coming up short now. And you've got Scott trying to do it all by himself. But because he's gone a little bit too early, he has no support. He has the rotations coming imminently. But he chooses to go by himself. And that's going to be now a 2 versus 2 for Tricked on the retake.
Just one flash as well, but they've both got kits, so they don't really need to worry about that. But already Lucky being tagged down to 12 HP. Moto peeks on out, gets it with a headshot, and Ragga's going to spray down Quez and Tricked. Oh no, that's a really rough round for them.
That is a disastrous, especially when you've got like Lucky getting 2 kills towards middle, when you have control of the map in an advantageous position. You lose the 4 versus 3 position you're in. It's a 3 versus 3, and then you lose for some reason. Adam S just on the B bomb site. I don't know how that goes so wrong. Scott, that was a big misplay, giving away the advantage once again as well.
Odd mistakes that you can't really let happen. Dreadful shot position, by the way, in the underpass, but not really here to talk economics or having a good business sense for CSGO people. Tricked. They need to get their economy flowing now. They're on their last legs, invested everything into this round, and if this doesn't work, Nexus, I mean, they're not running away with it just yet, but they are putting themselves up perfectly. They're giving themselves the alley-oop for a slam dunk.
Slam dunk. Ooh. I want another nade back in towards connector. That was dirty. Scott, okay, maybe doing a little bit more this round and making up for last round, but it's gonna be Prime. He's had a really rough couple months, but I know he's a good player. I've seen him play well, and he has to get the 3rd hit unless Lucky can do it as well. BTN goes to his death, goes to his grave. Tricked find a 2nd. And it felt like Nexus had broken through at first, but then Prime gets 2. It's just the really quick rotations from jungle.
And he went unchecked, it seems like. It felt like he actually let them cross and just practiced trigger discipline, and that will be massively to the favor of Tricked. The odds still heavily on the side of Nexus, because this is still their map pick, right? So, and they're still leading, but it is very close, and this is something you don't usually see. As soon as the CTs win around, the T's economy is actually broken, and it's not really happening vice versa.
Yeah, no, you have got a good point, but it's like the context of this game is just Nexus have never really had the chance to stabilize. Like they've never had that one round where they've got like, oh, look at us, we've got all 5 players alive. It's been just close consistently. So Trick, they're up against this low buy. This is when they need to do it clean. This is when they need to save as much into the next round, and it'll be really good for their econ, because round number 8 is going to be another gun round for Nexus, and yeah, just got to be good for Tricks.
Most pistols at the upside and in the smoke. Ragga. Oh no!
you were getting like whoop, you were getting a bit scared there for him.
Oh, Iceberg, he needed that. It's lovely 3K does get dropped in the end, but unless there's some immaculate headshot action coming through, it's not gonna happen. BTN and 2 players of damage is certainly respectable, but with Nexus also buying up into some of the pistols, you could take that.
Okay, 3-4. Trick, they want to even it up. No AWP out for Nexus. Moto's been really, really disappointing for me, to be honest. I really was expecting more from him in this series, from what I've seen, and especially because Lucky had quite a good nuke. I feel like that could be the X factor here for Trick if they do hate this one over the line. Good start theoretically there for Iceberg, but Moto takes no damage, gets the kill. I thought that was an Iceberg kill written all over it, but Moto, now that's what you'd want. transitioning the rest of his team towards the B bomb site. Prime is going to be on a pedestal all by himself, and he won't be able to stand up whatsoever. Adam S catches him off guard when he's in no man's land, fully blind, and that's tricked. Any sort of sensation they had or notion to get that lead has been ripped away from them.
Was at that breaking point is where Trick don't really manage to pull it over the line, but they've been able to get far away from the site. That's against Nexus' economy. Now he's able to survive with 5 players left alive at the end of it. I think they want to keep it that way and not overextend into a hunting position. The Trick, they're still going to have enough money to buy up into the next round. And since this Mirage, and as long as you keep the differential at or close to 2, you're not really in a stressed out position, because you could quickly get that back, break the economy once, and you're right back into contention. Obviously, that does then need to happen, but I don't think there's any reason for Trick to worry as of right now, because the rounds that they've won, they've done it pretty dominantly, and the rounds that they've lost, it's been incredibly close.
Yeah, I agree. That last round is like the one anomaly, to be honest. A buy still out for Trick. Lucky still has the AWP, and there's still no AWP on Modo, but Modo, that was a great opening pick last round, and he just keeps so many players in middle. Bit of a change up from Nexus right now. They're sending Adam S in middle. He's just taken so much space by himself. In the meantime, the rest of the force are going to go for a Palace push, but Trick actually have the perfect play for this. Trick have such a good read. You have Tricky in towards jungle. Sorry, Lucky in towards jungle, and he had to get a kill there. He has to be able to support his teammates who are double towards ramp, but he doesn't. Bomb drops so far back, though. Modo had the bomb in his back, and you can see that Trick pushed aggressively towards ramp, so they're only going to pick that up now, but Scop does not anticipate Adam S to be in jungle for some reason. Walk through murder hole, and it's going to leave Prime now in a 1 versus 2. He might be able to pick off Adam S as he comes around from short, but no, the movement's good, and Trick are probably going to be losing out round number 9.
For Prime in a 1v2, there's still so much util on the side of Nexus, so as soon as they figure out where Prime is going to be coming from, I wouldn't be surprised if Prime actually throws that smoke to give him some covering, and with that also gives away his position. And that's going to allow Nexus to just throw the house, but actually they've done a quick job already of dispatching of their own utility. They're pretty confident that he's actually going to be coming through short, so right now if he's just silent as a mouse, he might just be able to get a freebie, and indeed Smek offers up his head, and I think he was in 1-tap range as well, even with the A1S, but he ducks down into safety, and Prime knows that this one is over.
He had his chance, and he fluffs it. Still, I fear we are like theoretically quite early doors in this map so far. Like, I don't want to give Nexus all this not all of it, but like I don't want to say like, okay, look, they're 6-3 up. They're up against a pretty low buy here as well, so they're probably going to be 7-3 up. They've got the map advantage on their map pick. I don't want to quite put all my eggs in one basket, and I don't want to give everything, like all be like, okay, Nexus is going to win this map. I still want to hold off and see if Tricks can come back, because I believe they have the opportunity, or they have the ability to. I've seen them be very good on this map before, so I don't doubt it. They need to start showing me something, just anything.
You just start getting those rounds through consistently, because there's some great rounds by them, but they don't manage to get them through often enough and stuff like that. Even though it's just with the pistol, it's a freebie for Adam. Iceberg is going to go hunting with the dualies, the Wild Wild West, but Adam will shut it down with the modern machinery and tricks. It's got to be another round where they go by the wayside. Prime can't do anything about it. I think you just want to save this A1S. Don't really care. But try to do some damage.
Do just want to save the A1S. Damage isn't... I actually don't even think damage is that important here, especially when you've got all 5 players alive. You're going to have to get 3 kills to make it a worthwhile damage. And at the stage you're getting 3 kills, you might even be in a position to win the round. However, Prime should be saving towards ladder room, and this weapon saving onto it isn't going to be as important, to be honest, for Trick. That they're going to have a full buy next round. It's just kind of nice for the economy, you know. You've got the kit, A1S, flash, smoke, armor. It's just nice to not have to reinvest all of that again, because he's going to be able to. It's just him saving means he can just accumulate a bit more money.
That's what it's all about in life.
Double
Accumulate
up
as much
even.
cash. I've been seeing that come out more and more. And for a second, at the start of Anubis, there were a lot of people bringing out the double up on it, and I was really hoping that it would just be a consistent double up map. But
I think it is. It's one of the most consistent ones, because it used to be Dust 2. Dust 2 used to be it.
I do like that replacement though, because Anubis is just a better map. But Mirage starting to come through now as well. It's just any site that's really far apart, that's where the AWPs become more prevalent.
Well, you can play a double AWP on A. You can play AWP on A, B, or mid. I think that's why it's so good on Mirage, that you can actually play it literally anywhere. It's just when it's like the retakes, you know, it's always quite difficult. A very identical round. We've seen this before already, where you've got two players pushing towards ramp for tricks. You've got a Palace pop, but the difference is that Nexus have got their IGL into ladder room, and they're going to try fake out some presence over towards the B bomb site, which is going to pull Lucky away, and it's actually going to allow space for Nexus to come out of Palace. However, Iceberg's pushed through, so he just allowed Quez to focus his targets over directly towards Palace, but Iceberg has actually pushed a little bit too far forward, and now Quez is going to be having to look look behind him and in front of him at the same time.
And Iceberg pushing up that far when there was already some presence in the Palace, you're not really catching anybody off guard, and you're not really getting a whole lot of information. But Quez is just jiggling. But if Nexus go quickly on this, no, Quez, he won't even play off contact, he'll play off the air. And BTN, meanwhile, found Scott. It was a very long anticipated battle between the two, with BTN already being into the ladder room. Quez, that is very slow out of Modo. My goodness. And, you know, you want to get the shot there, but he wasn't really in a position to take his time. Quez was looking right at him, and Tricks, they're going to capitalize upon that. And look at this Nexus. They're still going over towards a Quez, trying to tuck himself in as far as possible. BTN getting back creep, but that's only after he got the kill on Quez. But now Lucky on the side up against Raga. Raga turns his back, and that's a freebie for Lucky.
Honestly, I don't know how Nexus didn't win that round. It seemed like everything was going in their favor, and just one mistake after another that they got offered up as well. Like, tricked with Iceberg pushing too far. It felt like that would be the accelerator for them onto the A bomb site, but no, it was not. And Trick, they do get one back at least. However, Nexus, they still have money. They still have the AWP. Modo, I want to see him go for something aggressive towards middle, maybe. The only issue is that Tricked aren't necessarily playing too much towards middle, so having him post on an angle like this towards connector would be good, but Tricked have never really played connector so far. They're actually playing a very passive middle. So Nexus, I think they got to put this AWP down and have him peek into, no, sorry, not put the AWP down, as in like have him peek into one of the bomb sites, like have him peek through apartments, have him trying to crack open one of the sites.
Taking the early damage. Just gonna put himself in the corner. Molly coming through. That would have spread to Smek, so he starts running away from it. He's trying to cause as much havoc, even though he's not really challenging right now. He's waiting for the rest of Nexus to move over towards A, and that's where he's gonna draw the attention back towards B, and gotta keep the players grounded so they can't really commit. So he doesn't even need to fully challenge, he just needs to be there. But Modo coming through, and this is aggressive, but they've actually snuck underneath the face of Prime, and Modo will get a kill, and that also means that there's a second player somewhat close. Modo loses that duel. Scott can't quite get it though, and that's huge, because in the meanwhile, Rago's also dispatched of Iceberg, and Tricked, they're finding themselves with just two players, and they're at the opposite end.
I was going to say, no way Scott gets a second kill there onto Adam S, but even though Lucky's actually going to do quite a lot of damage on the exit, they're just too far away to have any impact. You've got Quez only getting into TV room, for instance. Now, Lucky is all the way in Palace. They're just going to save the AWP, and Quez are going to try pick up an upgraded weapon over towards short. Upgrade from that FAMAS. And Nexus, they've won the half out. They've got 8. There's 3 more rounds left in this half. This could be a very pivotal 3 rounds because Trick, they can still make this contestable. But Nexus, in these last 3 rounds, could almost put the nail in the coffin. That's a big kill for economical detriment. No op saved over.
Still going to be average of 1. Both those will be gotten on the side of Tricked. And I guess this is a great example of trickle-down economy. It does sometimes work out. And that's in the game of CSGO, and Nexus were the ones to invest in it. I also guessed that the CT side did have to kill for it, so never mind that point. Tough, though, for Tricked. Like, they're getting close, and it just feels like every single time the coin just about flips to their end.
For the first time, when Tricked actually take mid control, there's no one there for Nexus to offer themselves up. And it's just going to be BTN at range taking the first kill. But that is nice from Lucky. He does. That's actually a very big kill because it's removed a lot of space for Nexus. That's all their depth in the rounds gone. So they're going towards the B bomb site. Unfortunately, Trick didn't quite make that decisive decision to go gamble stack either A or B. So with there only being 1 player on the B bomb site, that is Iceberg, he's going to go full. 2 players through market. Lucky will be one of them with the AWP, and he will get a first. Quez on short with the AWP is going to be joined by Lucky actually now. And Scott, with the bomb just being planted, is going to be meandering his way through market, but he will get found out.
It was dangerous. Caught out into the open as soon as Moto steps out. Now the double AWP, they're just looking to encase Nexus into the bomb site, but they've got a freebie. 3 X's out. Except for Raga, he's going to need to fight his way through. But if you lose 1 AK in this instance, you don't really care about it too much. Tricks, they've at least got somebody also holding behind, but with Nexus already onto the 9, I mean, how are Trick going to pull this back? They need to get the remainder of the rounds, and even then, they're not in a position where you can call them the favorite by any means. Where's... Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's a very good round for Nexus, 9-4. They're not bringing a double AWP over Trick now because of that last kill at the end. And it feels like no one on Trick just really got themselves going, whereas you look over at Nexus. To be fair, it's a very, across the board right now, very consistent kill distribution. Just Nexus are coming out on top consistently throughout. And especially when you've got BTN, their IGL, fragging out once again. Really makes a big difference, but he's not normally the known fragger.
Slaps Iceberg. And Nexus. They've still got Scott. Scott's taking a few bullets. It's BTN who actually deals with him again. BTN, he's gotten some crucial frags, and Moto is right on the money with Quez. And Prime also going down by the hands of BTN again. BTN is just doing everything right now, man. All they need to do is plant the bomb, but Lucky could try and start spraying this with the AWP, but that's never really going to work out. And Tricked, it seems like it's another round that's going to go against them.
Double digits. That's BTN. I was calling upon him. My God. Just saying he's been doing well, and damn, right there, he proves me right. 15-10. That's a delicious 4K for him.
If you do want to get some case battles, upgrades, or contracts going, make sure to check out Hellcase as well and use code CCT. But as usual, only do it if you do it responsibly and with money that you can afford to lose. Lucky can't really afford to lose that. Dual Iceberg, I don't know what happened, but that's about every single icon that you can have in front of the kill, and that's just unfortunate.
Okay, so even in this round, now it's really going the way of Nexus. Oh, that's a great shot from Quez. That's even a better follow-up. Ragger and Adam S now will get the bomb down the A bomb side. This round's still looking good for them. Utility that they can still place as well, if placed correctly, can really just close out Trick completely. A smoke on Adam S or any of these flashbangs or grenades, if thrown towards top connector, just pretty much stops the whole round from happening. Adam S gets flashed in, throws a Molotov towards top stairs, and Ragger, my god, is that a nice headshot? Can he do it again? Yes, he can. Nexus 11, Tricked 4, a terrific 2 versus 3 play there towards the end, and the Romanians, after the break, will be looking to end off this series 2-0.
Now, the question isn't really whether Nexus are going to win the pistol round, because they've done that every single time. The real question is, are they going to get another 4K on one of their players? Because they have been so consistently in that fact.
Yeah. Who's going to get the 4K this time? My bet's on BTN, because he's a god.
Ragger.
But Ragger, you know what? Okay, I back that with the Jewel Brothers. I think, where is Ragger? He's in a good position. They do go towards B. The bomb is there, so I wouldn't... Ooh, it's actually a possibility. Okay, Ragger, this is his time to shine, because Tricked are going to be wrapping around from short to the B bomb site. It's all Ragger alone on the bomb site, because all 3 players are actually in market. That's BTN with the first. I could be correct here. I could be correct, because he's running through, and he's popping some heads, because it's all going to be down to him, as the rest of his teammates are dying around him, Hytheria.
BTN needs to step up massively. It was just a meme before, but whether BTN can get this frag, he runs out of bullets, and that means way too many people coming through from behind. But Smith can still do this. He's got a good pistol in his locker too. Lucky he's just looking at Scott's booty. I mean, he's been doing squats, but Scott does manage to get the final frag and put Trick back in contention to a certain extent.
Sorry, what a bizarre end to that round. They just kind of forgot that he could walk through there. I mean, never mind. It all works out quite well for them in the end. Something I do want to say is that it was very unfortunate for BTN. Like, he had 5 bullets left and just never reloads, and then as soon as he does, he gets run down. So, like, maybe he'd reloaded before. It could have been a little bit different, but in the end, Nexus still do have a 6-round lead on the second map with a map advantage. They're looking comfortable. They're going to take the eco, and they're going to go for the full buy next round.
You never need to overstep here and try to force it through, because you've already done so much work on the RT side. You get to alleviate the pressure here. You're just stacked up in the ladder room, trying to catch off Tricked. It's just really, what position do you want to stack and go for it? There's not a whole lot of position where it would be absolutely ridiculous. I think sitting in the ladder room is one of the more out there spots, but you're still close to a plane. As long as you can catch Tricked off guard, you'll take it.
Yeah, it's definitely different, isn't it? But one thing it's going to be very interesting seeing how Nexus play this. You decide, because Tricked were just giving it up every round, and they're just allowing BTN to walk in. And I think it works out if you're able to hold the extremities, but Tricked couldn't. Never really changed it up that much. So I'm going to wonder how Nexus played their CT side in comparison.
Kills through here. This is pretty decent. They're not really able to recover the rifle. They've got no intent of clearing out with those rifles either. But this could be a tough one. They've all got their backs turned, and Prime, he's going to gobble up 3 frags, 1,800 in the bank for him, and Lucky will decapitate Adam. It's around that the Trick was always going to win, but it's nice that they get to fatten up that piggy bank a little bit.
can never shy away from money, and there's a big difference already partially between the two starts of these halves between the two teams. Like when Nexus won the pistol round, you remember when they kept one player alive, it had serious detriments to their economy throughout that beginning of the first half. So Trick now, they're not going to necessarily have the same level of issues. And this first gun round is going to dictate a lot. However, seemingly we do have a small pause here, Hyperia. And I'm not too, yeah, okay, a technical pause. We've got a little break in play. It's not like it's late enough, because if you guys do want some more Counter-Strike, we actually start again very bright and early tomorrow at 11 a.m. CT.
Oh, are you on for that, perhaps?
Funny you ask. I am.
You know what? I'm gonna be calling something here, because the internet providers are known to update at like 1:30 or 2 a.m. Right now for Nexus, it is right around that time.
No, stop.
BCN
No.
is the only one who's not bought anything up.
No, don't you dare. That is cruel. I mean, either way, it's been a good day of Counter-Strike, I feel like.
Oh yeah. I mean, when it goes this late into the night, you kind of know that it's been a very good day, that matches have been close.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I think there has been some technical issues, to be honest. Yeah, there has been some technical issues. I mean, we've had a few delays here and there. The Viperio game, and then at the start of this game. But UKCS has won twice, so honestly, I can't really be just too disappointed. UKCS on top. Whoop, whoop, baby! However, I think there is no information about what is actually happening. So, we are going to send it to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. There is a just behind the scenes issue. There is no Wi-Fi problem. There is no team has lost its Wi-Fi. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us ramble on for now, and we'll see you very soon after technical pause has ended. Another day, another technical pause. Nexus, they will attempt to come out the other side of it, though, with positive reinforcement. A full buy from both sides is the first gun round. Moto has his AWP, and he's looking to strike lightning with it.
Nexus. And out swinging.
Oi!
That's Prime who lands the hit. Oh, but Prime looks away. Smek, while blind, needs to move on out. Quez lined up a little bit, but he regains his vision, moves past, and that's another quick kill for Lucky and Quez. And that means it's just BTN, and he takes the high road.
It's not a bad first gun round for Trix. That's 7 for them now. Only 4 rounds away. This is all of a sudden become somewhat possible. It's going to still be a bit far and hard to get, especially because they're on the T side of Mirage, as this map does favor the CT side. But when you have all the weapons and all the pieces of the puzzle like Nexus in that round, you actually still fall. It's never great for the future.
BTN, he has somehow managed to dodge all these tricked players. Oh, no, never mind. At the very end of the round, there's got to be a Max 10 running him down, and Iceberg upgrades his weapon. And that gives Nexus nothing into this round. They're going to force up around the 2K mark. They've got max loss bonus there. You can deal with that. But this is starting to get a little bit frightening already for Nexus, because currently they don't have a whole lot to say. There has been one gun round, and it's been absolutely dominated by Tricked.
Out on the pistols, BTN's getting aggressive underpass. He's actually just going to walk into Quez. A double dink with the M4. Bye-bye, sir. That was crisp. And any danger might have actually just been evaded, because the last player that could cause any issues is Raga on apartments. He's been spotted. He'll be spammed. He will fall. And the last 3 remaining players for Nexus are just around the A bomb site, very far away from the action.
Moto. Just about doing a bit of damage now. Was there a tiny bag spotted of that leg? Doesn't matter. Still, the frag landed for Iceberg. And Tricked. They're going to convert the round. Nexus struggling, and also in the damage doing department, when you force up like this, 2 kills, or even perhaps 3, is not really what you're looking for. You're looking for more than that.
Yeah, you are looking, I think, well, you're looking kind of for you are looking for the win, to be honest. Like, you wouldn't, especially when you've got these, like, the upgraded pistols are so dangerous. Like, you're there, like, when I'm playing and I've got the upgraded pistol round, especially when you're like 5-7, I'm there thinking, lads, we're going to win this round. And if you don't, it's like, oh, okay.
Rough one. Thus far, I feel like this entire best of 3 has been rough for both sides. Just either barely losing out or just not really getting the idea you have going into the round to actually be executed upon. But Trick, they're going to quickly go on the B site, and the Molly won't cut anybody off, so that means Raga's going to have to defend this spot, but he could be overwhelmed. Lucky gets the kill on Adam, and Raga will peek on out, but that's also to his demise. And right now, Nexus, they're probably thinking about saving an Iceberg. He's just gone behind BTN. This is so weird. And BTN turns around, will get the frag, but still, Trick, they're going to get the round going.
I think Smek just like bumps heads with him there. They like clash heads. They just like skulls bang together. And because of that, BTN's like, oh, maybe it's behind me. But 9-11, is this all of a sudden just this series is like, you know what? We don't favor the CT side. We favor the T side on every map, because that's definitely what the meta dictates. Like, you got Moto, who's just done nothing this whole series, and Nexus has still been able to do well without him. This is when we really need the AWP to come into his own, and we really need to see this AWP do damage.
And Trick, they're just moving like a unit. Nobody massively standing out. And Scott also just being up there together with Prime. That's going to be the confidence gainer. He's not had the greatest time thus far in Tricks, but Stealing away a map pick for Nexus would be huge for Trick right now. That means they can obviously continue this best of 3 and try and reverse sweep it, but also putting themselves in the 1-0 bracket is just going to give a bit more comfort. But they're still in the losing end of this match in Nexus. If they manage to figure out the strategy for Trick or manage an anti-strat, that should be good enough. But Moto, with the open apps, he needs to be doing more. Thus far, he's been getting peeked by rifles, and he's actually been killed by rifles in those altercations. If Quiz manages it here, I've kind of hyped up Moto way too much. I probably already have, considering his performance, but he can still redeem himself a little bit.
He can do better, and I've seen him do better. He's a very he's a very instrumental instrument to this squad. And right now, this is his time to shine. He's actually in the perfect position. This Molotov is going to force Quez out potentially. Ooh, I don't know. It's going to be a weird one. But that Molotov actually does just signal to Trick that there is a player in apartments. He gets flashed off the angle and he dies. That's not a great start. You've got 3 kills in quick succession with only 1 in response. Trick, a team that is notoriously better on its CT side, are apparently making it work on the T side. 10 to 11. They will not get any more exit frags, but they still will get the round. Nice indeed. What's happening? What?
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Just checking whether his teammate's actually getting into safety while he's standing out into the open. But Tricked. They're even trying to bunch up on Nexus. Lucky he's the outpost that they can't really cross. Chancing an open T-spawn just feels impossible. Flash will come through. But it's going to be a tough one to... No, never mind. It's not going to be a tough one at all. Sport just peeks in and is unharmed in the process. Adam.
Saves an MP9.
Yeah. Tough.
How is this happening? How have Nexus not got a single round on the CT side right now? How did Trick only get 2 on the CT side of Nuke? Is this like... Are we watching the same game? Why are Nexus just not taking any control towards middle? They've got double orbs now. Where's this? Like, I know Ragger's a genuinely good second AWP. I've seen him do it before. Why are they never contesting middle? Why are they doing what Trick did and just played towards the bomb sites when it didn't work? Try contest other parts of the map. You've got very little utility. Okay, fair enough for this map, for this round. And I like the fact that you are using the AWPs and the rifles in conjunction to push the extremities on the maps. And see, as soon as you do take some control towards middle, you have a double kill there almost. And then Ragger is going to get baited in, or he's going to bait in Adam S rather. Maybe this round actually is going to prove to be successful.
Ragger, this is still so tough though with the AWP to play the B site. There are so many angles that they could just appear from. You need to be on the money with it, but Smecky's gotten the perfect back rebound. Oh, lucky! Oh my god! They're still going back towards B, and there's a chance here. Oh my god, man! Oh my god! Yeah, no, I mean, there's just the Trick that's dropped a deuce on Nexus's chest right there. That was disgusting.
That is. Can we get a replay on that lucky kill? He pulls out the USP, turns around, and just double taps 1, 2 onto Smek's head. I think that might be I think that might be GG. You know.
That is disgusting, and also a very good case of why just run with the pistols out when you're not 100% sure where they are.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a great point. But like that round, it was going well for Nexus. They actually had the advantages. They had the read. They had everything going in their way, and somehow it fumbles out of the bag. I think this is going to be 16-11 to Trick. Trick are going to win this game 16-11. Nexus, they've lost the steam they've lost the wind in their sails. They've lost everything. We're going to Vertigo. We're going to that third map, and I have no idea what's going to happen there.
The only way for Nexus is to start one-upping Trick, but how do you one-up that? Iceberg just crab walking around the corner. Pulls out Molly, double Molly on the site. Smek is going to get the one, but it's just the pistols, and that's going to be the tough part. And Quez He's currently living the French Revolution, decapitating everybody. Nexus with just 2 players. There was an A1S which they probably should have looked to save unless Raga can. Well, I can't even finish that sentence and he's already dead. All chances, all hopes and dreams go awry. And Adam, I don't even think you'd go for this. I don't know why you would. It's a 1v4. Yeah, you got money to buy in the next round, but you've been second best. There's certainly going to be more rounds where you need to buy up.
Some things in life are just not meant to end, and this game is one of them. 12 to 11, we'd almost written it off, but the resurgence from Tricked is definitely something you have to applaud. You have to sit there and give consolidation or consolences over to Nexus, but Tricked have done so well. They've clawed their way back into this. And they've showed that they are the Celestials in this server. However, Modo has put a stunt in their momentum for now, as he has got a kill towards middle onto the IGL. But will that be enough? Potentially, as he has got one more. Raga, a lumbered spray, but it will be saved by the rest of his team. Yet again, though, a gap in the defense has been exploited by Tricked, and they are out on the B bomb site, where Lucky, though, has missed an AWP shot.
They've gotten the bomb down, and that's another shot out of Trick. Then there's nobody else who goes on the angle, and that's the huge issue. You offer one of your players up, but there's actually no return for it, and now they're boosting over. But Lucky, if he can show up with this AWP, it's a 1v4 basically, but he's already getting caught off guard. What a second shot as well, Lucky. Can he do it again? But he whips the quick scope, and Nexus, they will at least get on to 12 and deny this absolute reign of terror from Trick.
Finally, after 8 rounds in a row, Tricked have been silenced, but it was not even clean. It was narrow, it was extremely close, and Lucky, I genuinely favored him there in that. I get 1 versus 3, but pretty much a 1 versus 4. He gets 2, and he almost gets 1 more, but unfortunately, God was not looking down upon him in that moment. And Nexus, they are dancing with death right now. They barely have a buy left in them, back into them rather. They have a double AWP. I've seen this double AWP work before, but they need to kind of have a little bit more oomph in them. Modo taking aggression towards middle. As soon as he's been taking aggression middle in these rounds, he's been finding success. He gets one, almost gets the collateral, gets traded out, but Smek is there to salvage the round continuously for Nexus. And Adam S is going to put it further in their advantage with the confidence, finishes what Modo had started.
Historically, over the entire time that Mirage has been played, an 11-4 T half only results in a win for the CT. So Tricked in this case, who have swapped sides, 5% of the time. And for Trick to even be in contention right now is already going to be a very slight percentage. But for Scott, there doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot of stuff going on in this particular round. No chances, or at least there shouldn't be any chances. He's got plenty of time, and we can find the kill on BTN perhaps, but yeah, there's going to be Smek and CT that he first needs to deal with. Actually, no, he just pulls out a bit of U2, and Smek will re-peek into him and picks up the freebie.
Well, apparently Nexus are in the lead now. This is what I mean. They take control towards middle, and it works out in their favor. Modo, he almost gets a collateral, but he's causing trouble in Mirage Town. The OGs will know a bit of that references. And they do have a buy back into it, but equally so do Tricks. Lucky still on his AWP. They have so much money on Trick. Like, they have a buy for like 2 more rounds probably, especially with the loss bonus adding up. And especially if they get the bombs down. So Trick, they're actually playing a little bit more cool this round. They're not committing too much to one area. They have got a player out middle. They also do have players all around the map keeping pressure, but Quez needs to be careful he isn't full to add a mess on the spam.
Few bullets pop through, but Quez is already low, and he's actually going to hunt further. But Quez is holding for this, so if Adam oversteps, there'll be Quez waiting with a guillotine. he himself is incredibly low, so does need to make quick work of Adam, and he actually goes off the angle. So Adam, he's gaining all this ground, and yeah, he doesn't even need to peek further. He sees blood splatter on the wall as well, so he at least knows that somebody has been tagged up. But Adam, he's got to be called off guard. No, he's not. Then that's a swap out. Lucky without an orb seems to be a little lamb that can't really do any damage. And Adam, he's going to move away and have a 5v3 setup for his team.
Risen from the grave has Adam S. He had a great nuke. He had a really slow game so far. And these last 2 rounds, he's really come back into his own. This round's looking like it's got Nexus written all over it. Good. I mean, if they break through the A bomb site, there is a possibility. Especially with Iceberg very low, finally falling. But I don't think they expect 3 people to be here. And it's not even... Wait, Adam S gets a kill from short, so it's not even one of those 3 that gets one of these kills. And with Prime in this 1 versus 4, he does get a first, but with 4 seconds, he wasn't the player that had to get the kills. Prime was in a great position to cut off rotations coming from B, but the only issue is that you have them taking too much time. Adam S comes from short, and Trick lose the round. 14-12. Trick still have a buy back in them. They have a buy for the next round as well if they want, but Nexus are still winning these rounds, and they are still pushing them further or closer towards round 16 after losing 8 in a row.
Nexus reinvigorated, and they knew that something had to change, and that was the main issue with their strategy, is that they did the same thing over and over again, but it wasn't working out. Now that they're actually starting to play down mid, it's starting to be a whole lot better. But this is not a written and ended story just yet. Smek, he's at the forefront, will get first frag, and now they're going to start trading through on the T side. But Smek, he's somehow in the Matrix for a decent bit, but Scott will find the head of Smek, and somehow doesn't expect BTN to be sitting underneath. And that's just an error you can't be making. BTN runs out of bullets, but he got 2 kills. Certainly a trade that you're taking, and oh, Iceberg steps out into the open, and this viciousness for Trick, they just turned into little puppies.
Such a disappointing end for this potential mapping series for Tricked. It seemed like they had the code, they'd cracked it open, and a round like that is just showing that Nexus are potentially the better team in this one. I don't know what was happening. It was a really awkward A push. Just no utility towards the later stages of that execute. They have the original flashes and smokes that actually get evaded by the likes of Smek, and then BTN just gets 2 kills for free. It's the Nexus flash that was really good. It's a Moto flashing in for BTN when he was under Palace that allows him to get that double kill, and the fact that he's able to stay alive for so long and get 2 kills is absolutely outrageous, especially when he whiffed his bullets. Nexus 15, he gets finished off there at the end. Lucky's 1v3 has been denied, and Tricked have 3 chances now to push us into potential overtime, and that overtime onto Vertigo.
It's a tough process for Tricked, but whichever way this ends, they've at least done better than on their own map pick. But Nexus, perhaps they did crack open another can of energy drink or another coffee, get themselves woken up at this late stage of the night. But Moto, he's got to find the first frag. Iceberg also falls victim to BTN. Wes with an immediate return frag, though. And Tricked, they are still with a player down, but perhaps they're going to make this work. Raga, he's right on the money with Quez and was aimed in on the legs and puts the bullet in a dome instead. Big time overkill. Now they know where the rest of Tricks are as well, and an aid comes through. They're going to jump out of the window. Scott does get the 1, but with Lucky on a slither of HP. Oh, that nade is certainly going to do the job. Did it actually get lobbed in? Yes, it did.
Such a bizarre end to that one. Nexus lose 8 rounds in a row, coming off from an 11-4 half, and then out of nowhere, they pick it back up. They claim the win. They silence the Danes, and the Romanian squad start taking mid-control, and then they start winning. Very nicely done from Nexus Gaming. I have no idea how it got that close. It shouldn't have got that close, but Hyperia, it's been a pleasure taking the fans through these last 2 games with you. However, we are going to say goodnight. It's we're getting into the early hours of the morning. We're getting early hours into the evening, and we have seen some terrific Counter-Strike. We've seen UK CS come out on top, and we've seen Romanian CS at the very end there come out on top. But this is still only the 0-0 bracket, so these teams are only going like 1-0, 0-0, so 0-1. So it's not like it's not that big of a deal early on, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. You can still manage it. It's all right. You've got plenty of time. And the later you go on in the bracket, that should also make it easier for you. Realistically, this should be your tough or one of your tougher matchups because the seeding just, well, will do that. But as you mentioned, it's getting into the late hours and we don't want to hold anybody up for going to bed. These players have played long enough already and you have got an early morning tomorrow as well. But you can watch Ranner yet again if you just watch the first games tomorrow morning. But that is it for us. Thank you all for watching. We hope to see you back next time.
I have very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One XBet.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.